Tonight I'm going to be working on this 1981-82 Trek 412 that I got at a thrift store. And what I'm going to do is be replacing the brake cable housings, the cables, and also the hoods. As you can see, the original hoods are just shot. I don't know what happened to them, like whether they just got sun-fried, just aged, or overheated, or what, but they're just shot. So I bought these Cane Creek hoods, which I think should be a good replacement for them. Hopefully, there should be a definite improvement anyway. I'm going to start off by cutting the old brake cables here just at the brakes, because I'm going to be removing those and replacing them anyway, so just cut them. And I pull the cables out of the old levers here. Like that. Then I need to remove these old hoods. They're pretty dried. I think they're actually stuck on the brakes. So I got like a little plastic thing here, a little scraper. And I'm just going to kind of scrape them off the levers here like this. Yeah, they're just like stuck on there. Okay, I got most of the old rubber kind of scraped off there, and now I'm ready to install these boots, and they're the same on both sides, so there's not like a left and a right. And what I usually find it easier to do to slide them on is to use a little bit of rubbing alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, as sort of a lubricant. So I'll just kind of spray the alcohol all along the inside of the rubber here. Then I can slide this up here, and I need to slide it over the top here. And this is the trick part, so I got to stretch it over. And there. So now I got that one in place there. And the same thing on this one. Kind of get a bunch of alcohol all along the inside of the rubber here. Kind of lubricate it so it slides on a little smoother. There. And get it all in place like that. All done with that one. Now I need to cut new cable housings. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this off of here like this. And pull the other one out through here like this. Release this here. Pull this out. Now I have the original cable housing, so that'll make my life a little bit easier because I can just cut some cable housings the same exact length. So I got the new cable housing here, just put these side by side, bring this out here, and then cut this right here. And I suggest using nice sharp cable housing cutters because it just makes your life a lot easier and you get a nice clean cut. So there's one, and then cut for the back cable housing. So bring this along here. And just cut that right here. Then one thing I like to do with the cable housing ends is I'll take a skewer, and if I just kind of poke these down there, it spreads the lining inside there out, so it makes a nice clean exit out of the cable there. And now I need to remove the original little cable end here from the brake. So I can just loosen this little clamp nut here and pull that through, and then just loosen that to make room to install the new cable. Okay, now I need to install the cable into the brake lever here. And one thing to be aware of, there's a little cable stop in here. And notice that there's a fat opening here, and if I roll it around, there's a narrow opening here. I want the narrow opening facing up and the fat side facing down, because ultimately the fat opening is going to hold the cable end here. So what I can do is I can shove the cable up through the lever here. I don't need to worry about getting it into that cable stop quite yet because there's a slot in the side. But what I'm going to do is work the cable so I can get it up through the top of the brake lever. Like this. And now I can pull the cable up. And a lot of times as you pull the cable up, it'll kind of like roll that little thing down. Now here it just hooked right in, but sometimes you might actually kind of have to hold it, you know, get like a screwdriver or something there to kind of hold it in place, and it still might slip out of there. So, but right now it's hooked in there the right way it's supposed to be. Now I have my front cable housing here, so I'm going to slide this onto the cable. I don't need a ferrule because I already checked the cable housing fitting in the top of the brake lever there, and there's not a room for a ferrule there, and there's also not a room for a ferrule there, so I don't need any ferrules on this cable housing at all. So I'll slide the cable housing, or the cable into the cable housing here. I'm going to seat the cable into the top of the brake lever there, and I want the brake cable housing to go over and behind the handlebars here, and then I'm going to slide the cable down through the barrel adjuster on the brake here, and then I can slide it down through the clamp on the brake there and pull it all the way in, and then get it so that the cable housing is fully seated here in the lever. Oh. And like I said, the cable housing, the cable slipped out of the little holder here in the brake lever. So I can kind of push this down again, get it hooked in there like this, and then pull the cable tight again. Okay, and then down here on the brake, I have the barrel adjuster here. I want to have that all the way screwed down in. There's this little lever here that kind of releases the brakes. I want to go ahead and have this down so that it's pulling the cable tight there. I'm going to kind of press the brakes in like this, and then let them out just a touch. And then I'm going to tighten this clamp bolt down and see how this works. Now I need to check the brakes here, so I can move this here. I get nice movement on the brakes here. It closes and the lever is not bottoming out. So that's about where I want it to be. So I'm going to tighten this all the way down here like this, like that. I'm going to cut the excess cable off there, leaving probably about 1.5 inches on there like that. And then I'm just going to put a crimp end here on the end of the cable, on like here like this, and crimp this on here like this, nice and tight, and there, done with the front brake. Now same thing on the back brake here is, and I'll feed this up here, get this to feed up through the top of the brake here like this, and get it caught here in the cable stop in there like that. And then I've got my new cable housing here. So I'm going to feed this down through these little cable holders on the top tube. So like this. And release my clamp there. Like this. And if you're wondering what this blue thing is here, it just kind of holds the handlebars straight. It's made by Park Tool. It's a cool tool, it's real cheap, and it holds the handlebars to keep them from turning while I'm working on the bike. And then kind of get this set in there about right where I want it. I can adjust this a little bit later too. And then clamp this back down here while I'm working on it. Then I want to feed the cable up into the cable housing here, and the cable housing is going to go from the brake up over the handlebars and back behind there like that. So I'll just push this back here like this. Pull it from the back and get this seated in the top of the brake like that. So I have that in there like that. Okay, here I am on the back brake here, and I want to remove this little bit of fragment of cable out of here, out of the clamp from the old cable. like that. And then I can feed the new cable down through this barrel adjuster here like this. Down through the clamp. And then seat the cable housing into the barrel adjuster there. Check to make sure that the brake lever didn't get attached from the cable stop there. Flip this part down here, and then I'm going to push these brakes in a little bit. Let them out just a touch, and then tighten this down a little bit and see how this feels. Test the brake lever. And that actually feels pretty good like that. So now I'm going to tighten this down here. Like that. Now I'll cut the cable here, leave about 1.5 inches on there like that. Get a little crimp end on here like this. And squeeze it on. Just like that. All done. Brand new hoods, cables, and housings here. All nice and tight here. And I think it looks a lot better. I still got to redo the handlebar tape. I'll get some new handlebar tape on here. But anyway, hope you found this useful or interesting. If you did, please click like on my video. I always appreciate getting likes on my videos. It helps me out. If you're not subscribed to my channel, click the big subscribe button. You'll see new videos as they come out, and I'm always coming out with new videos. And I'm also over on Facebook, RJ the Bike Guy. Go over there, like my page, and I post a lot of stuff over there. Anyway, thank you very much for watching.